There is no end to knowledge. It is not that you read a book, pass an examination, and finish without education. The whole of life, from the moment you were born to the moment you die, is a process of learning. So, for starting a new chapter of learnings, or we can say a new webinar, I, Shilpa Sharma, your host for the day, wants to extend a warm greeting and good afternoon to all of you present here. On behalf of whole DigiSection family, I welcome you all for today's international webinar on topic challenges faced by marketing organizations in present scenario. I hope you all are doing amazing. Also, I see a quite number of people are joining us. Before I proceed, let me take a brief moment for the introduction of my organization. DigiSaksham is an initiative by SEMS Welfare Foundation that has established content for over 300 courses in various languages, ranging from 4 hours to 6 months in various sectors of IT, BFSI, retail, and entrepreneurship for all age groups ranging from school children, youth, professionals, and senior citizens with over 6,000 trainings and completed till date. It also had completed a skilling program for 600 convicts across 2 jails in states of Haryana in its short time of existence. In addition to this, an MOU was formed to provide training in areas of entrepreneurship, livelihood generation, and capacity building to roughly 4,000 students, as well as to upskill faculty members at various institutions in Uttar Pradesh. The topic of today's webinar is Challenges Faced by Marketing Organization in Present Scenario by our speaker of today, Mr. Saurabh Sharma. Every marketer faces different challenges, and ever since 2020, the ways we have had to adjust campaigns and address challenges has been unlike anything many of us have not done before. Today's marketing has been so challenging and fast that it can be difficult to identify like which area we want to develop to facilitate stronger in the coming years. For that, it's important to decide and reflect on biggest challenges marketers feel they are facing these days. On discussing this in detail, I'm profusely delighted to have our guest speaker, Mr. Saurabh Sharma. Saurabh Sharma belongs to Dehradun and has done MBA in marketing. Currently, he is working as departmental head of management department in HIT Group of Institutes, Dehradun. He believes in karma, self-motivation, and dedication towards all enthusiastic and fruitful things of life, which are necessary for shaping us for future credentials. The world is full of diamonds and gems, and we are having one of them with us today. So without any further ado, I would like to give my heartiest welcome to our guest speaker, Mr. Saurabh Sharma.
Thanks, Shilpa, for delivering such a nice introduction for my part. And I appreciate all the audiences who are engaged here with me in this particular webinar, which I'm going to deliver within a few minutes. So welcome to all of you. So this is the content of my topic, which I'm going to discuss with everyone, that how the opportunities and the threats generally faced by the marketing organizations as per the present market scenario. As we all know that the competitive era of this marketing scenario is very, very tough nowadays, because the rival competitors are facing so much threats from each other related to their brand, services, and all such kind of the promotion which generally they are promoting inside the market area. So this particular webinar is generally based on that particular thing, that what are those major challenges and how the marketing organizations get survive in that particular conditions on behalf of that scenario. What are those marketing challenges which are generally faced by the marketers on behalf of all such challenges and the opportunities? What are those challenges? So these are some of the USP points which I have prepared in my first this PPT. As you know that in the first slide, what it has written that this challenge is generally meant to particular this point, that why this bridging the gap between your sales report and your buyer means whatsoever organization is generally used to deliver the services apart from their end to their core customers, right? So it depends about the choice or all the taste of the preferences of the consumers, that whether they are willingly to anxious to buy their product, your products, your services, and each and everything. And on behalf of those things, how the profit maximization and the sales graph of the organization is increasing. Means here we are talking about the core sales and core leads of the organizations, that on the basis of the consumers or the prospects interest, how we are generating our sales. This is one of the means. So most of the organizations are facing such kind of difficulty, that what should they sell, what should they provide as a service provider to their prospects, and how the prospects is going to identify them that they are generous seller in the market. This is the first thing. Secondly, one more challenges that we are facing in the area, the problem when knowledge isn't shared. As we all know, until unless if we are not aware about the services, if we are not aware about the products, then how could we know that what exactly the approach of the organization, what organization is going to provide us, and how we are going to share all the things with each other, apart from the end of the buyer and apart from the end of the sale. So this is also one of the major hurdle, or you can see the drawback, or you can see the challenge faced by the organizations. Then in my third point, it has already said that, do you provide a one size fits all approach? Means here we are talking about that particular approach. Means suppose if there are numerous marketers in the area, in the organization, and they are selling the same commodity, same product, and the same services. So that thing will fit up in one size or not? No, it hardly matters, because the thing is that the size, capacity, price, consideration, and the choice of the consumers are not at all equal with each other. Means it depends upon their preferences. Some seller is going to sell another type of commodity, and someone is going to sell different type of services to the consumers. So this thing will not lead to that particular. So this is a very, you can say, the bad approach and the negative approach of the marketers, if they are thinking that they just going to sell those particular thing in a one cup of tea. No, this is truly not appreciable in the market area. So that is the major drawback. Then all the things depend upon the time constraint. What exactly your timing means, and at what particular time of period you are going to sell or you are going to promote your products. What kind of source of promotion you are doing, means either you are doing advertising, you are doing publicity, you are doing public relations, you are maintaining the liaising with your prospects. So this thing depends upon the time worth. Suppose if you are convenient in talking with the customers, no doubt whether he's convenient with you in talking about their product and the services, it depends on, it hardly matters, because the time constraint is the main factor. Suppose if you are delivering your services or if you are promoting your services, so first of all, it's very necessary for every marketer that he must know that whether the particular consumer is taking interest in your services or not. Because the interest, the desire, and the willingness of the consumer is very important apart from this particular. So time worth is also one of the major constraints as a part of the marketing. Then in the next point, it says that it's about the quality, not the quantity. Naturally, if you are fulfilling the quantity of the consumers, then this is not the major thing. This thing depends upon the quality of the service, quality of the products which you are delivering to the customers, right? That quantity to the consumers, it is very necessary that you should give the quality to the prospects. If you are delivering the quality, then naturally the quantity will get automatically increased. So rather focusing on the quantity or tendency of your product, it's better being a marketer, you should focus on the quality. Then after that, the bad leads or bad lead follow means how you're generating the leads from the market. And on the basis of the leads, how could we know that this lead belongs to our service or not? Someone talking it effectively, someone taking it casually. So this thing creates a condition of shuffleness. Means how could we identify that these things are generally or generously related with our things? So this thing generally creates a part of the bad lead follow. Follow-up means we have to collect the data from the market. We have to filter it. We have to sort out each and everything. Then on the basis of that particular thing, we need to identify each and everything in a very relevant manner, that the leads which we have generated, that is appropriate from the part of our sales activity or our marketing activity. If it is, then it will be fine. And if it is not, means the thing which we are promoting and which we are doing instantly in the market area, that will be totally bullshit. So bad leads always misinterprets the activity very generously. Then after that, we'll talk about the problem first and not the solution first. Because until unless we are going to find out the solution, it's very necessary for every marketer that we should find out the solution of the problem. What exactly the problem, where the problem is going to begin, and how we are identifying and how we are taking that problem effect. Because until unless we don't find the outcome of the problem, how are we going to find out the solution? So that is the major and the foremost thing of this particular challenge. Then in the next challenge, I'm talking here about the how the business suffers. In my second last point, I am saying about that how the business suffers when the sales and the marketing are on the same page. See, this thing generally happens in the market area. Suppose if we are promoting and if we are advertising our brands or services. So this thing leads that on the part of the sales and on the part of the marketing, how we are initiating in the area, how we are identifying the prospects, how we are identifying the leads in the same channel, same panel. So this thing happens generally in the market when we are facing this particular problem. So it's very, very necessary for every personal or a professional that until unless they are not going to identify the mindset, the consideration of the consumer, they won't be able to hit or target the. Then after that, keeping your sales and marketing team accountability, very, very important part of this marketing challenge. Until unless you people are not accountable apart from your service, apart from your credibility and apart from your trustworthiness, you won't be able to perform the sales and marketing activities effectively from your end and from the end. So as a point of view in your mind, it's very, very necessary that if you are a core marketing professional, then you should be properly accountable towards your services. Then I'll just moving towards my next slide. In the same continuation of that particular slide, I will tell you that how the marketing challenges are generally faced by so many other things. Do you have a repeatable, sustainable profile to the success? This thing generally happens, means suppose doing the repeatable sales in the market. So what sort of things you will identify that this thing will certified or sustainable in the market profile or not? The first thing is that. Secondly, do you really know what's working and what isn't in your sales, marketing and product areas? It's very, very necessary for every marketer that whenever or whatever thing we are going to sell in the market, it depends upon that particular thing, what sort of services we are selling and apart from our commodities, apart from our products, and apart from our range or services or product line which we are offering to them. Then is your company message target? Means this thing generally happens if we are providing a tagline or any particular message of our brand or our product or services. So we should keep this thing in our mind that whom we are targeting in the market area, who are our core prospects, who are our core customers, and how we are dealing with them. Then why your marketing team is failing, what are the consequences, what are the hurdles, what are the drawbacks, and what are those reasons through which your entire marketing professionals of the team or the representatives are very, very lacking in that particular area. So we should try to find those reasons, why these reasons generally happen inside the marketing. Is your sales teams focused on the right target market? Means here we are talking about our sales professional that suppose if we are giving some target, some activity to them to perform inside the market area, so will they be able to target the right kind of consumers in the market? That thing generally happens because until unless we are not focusing on the right consumers in the marketing, it's very, very tough for us to penetrate or we have to build. So that is the very important thing. Until unless we are not targeting the right consumers, it's very, very tough for us to lead up our business effectively. It's not about the quantity of content you provide off. It's all about the quality. Earlier, I have also tell you in my slide that quality matters a lot instead of providing the quantity to the consumer. If you are not providing the quality or meaningful products or services to the consumers, your quantity will never get survival inside the market. So keeping this thing in mind, if you are a core sales or marketing professional, then you should focus on the quality of the product instead of focusing the quantity, right? Now, as head of marketing, how do you know what's working and what isn't? It's very, very important that for every marketer, professional, or a leader, that what is exactly going inside his or her territory. He should take good care of all the territory in charge, and he should take good care of all the activities, what they are doing in their areas, in their territories, in their location, apart from their services, how they are handling the grievances and the problems or the feedbacks of the consumers. And on behalf of all such things, what sort of changes they are performing in their services. And on behalf of those services, will the consumer be able to quickly? So apart from these all the things, being a part of the head of the marketing, it's very, very necessary that you should focus on the quality of the product rather providing the quantity. Don't shoot the messenger. Never try to adopt this thing that you are putting any particular message to the consumers directly that you are providing this, that, blah, blah. So this is not the right thing. You should focus on the quality. Naturally, your messenger activities of your services will instantly get happen in the market. After this slide, I'll show you the next slide. Bridging the sales and the marketing disconnect is not easy task. As we all know that until unless we are not going the right platform apart from the sales and the marketing activity, it's very, very tough for the marketer that we should focus on those things effectively. Because if the marketing, if the promotion, if the advertising is not going in a very, very effective way, then you can't promote your sales effectively. So keeping this thing in mind, if you are doing these activities, then you should make a proper matchup between the sales and the marketing activities. There should not be any kind of the misconception between all these things. All the things must go in a very, very relevant way and make sure that the gap should be arrived in between both of these things. After this, why there is a sales and the marketing kaizen? As we all know that there is a chaos between the activity of the sales and the marketing. Why this thing get happen generally in the market? It's all because of the preferences and the taste of the consumers. Suppose if you are offering one kind of the taste, one kind of the preference to the consumer, then 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, they are preferring your after that. Definitely, they will switch on their mind. They will move on to some other products, some other services. So this thing should be properly handled inside the market. There should not be any kind of chaos between the sales and the marketing on behalf of the consumers. So keeping this thing, it's very, very necessary as a part of the marketing professional that you should make ensure that what sort of expectations the consumer are reflecting among you, you should try to solve it. Then after that, our office politics and turf war killing your sales. Naturally, suppose, as we know the internal environment of every marketing organization, all the representatives, all the market leaders, they are discussing with each other what should be the target you are expecting. What is your leads? What are they are keep on discussing all such bullshit things in the organization. So that is not the right way. Rather criticizing each and everything related to the part of the marketing, you should focus on your goals, standard parameters which you have set. Keep avoid all the silos, politics, and the turf war between each of the organization member who are associated with the marketing. Better keeping eye on these particular things, you should focus on the target. You should make a strategic plan. Until unless you won't any kind of build up or any particular marketing strategy, you won't be able to make it in a more meaningful way. So avoid all such things. Be constant, be stable, and focus on your those activities and marketing strategic point of view. So these are some of the contents which I am showing you that what's your content marketing challenge. So many things done inside the marketing activity. As you can see, we prefer emails, we prefer social media management activities, we prefer social enablement, we prefer marketing automation, sourcing, optimizing, localization, franchising, and so these are what? These are some of the basic contents of the marketing challenge, that how we are penetrating, how we are distributing, and how we are rotating the entire marketing channel through these particular activities which we are as in the urban market area. What are those marketing opportunity analysis tools which are very, very helpful to identify or to assess the attractiveness of the business opportunity? As we know that first of the most important thing all about the competition, how the competition occurs across the industrial boundaries rather than within the industrial activities. It all thing depends upon that how we are making the strategy, how we are building our team, how we are allocating the task, duties, and the responsibilities to all personals of the organizations. And competitions generally between the alliances of the companies means alliances means it's a kind of the contribution or the merger done between the two different organizations of the same services. Means one is the supplier and another one is the distributor. And after that, the competitive developments and responses generally occurring at an unprecedented speed. Naturally, until unless you are not competitive, you are not establishing your services, you are not making it meaningful. So generally things what get happen, you're not getting the prior response from it. So that is the main important thing, that if you want to become more competitive, you should make ensure about this thing, that you should make a proper development and timely modification in your services if you want to get achieve certain positive response from the end of the consumers in a very, very speedily way. Unique ways to bring values to the consumers and change behavior means we have to try to find out those things, those activities, and those unique approaches or methods, how we are bringing the value to our products on behalf of the consumers. And on behalf of those things, how the consumers are changing their behavior to predict or to buy our services in a very, very effective way. So this is one of the important things. On the basis of this particular thing, we can easily maximize our sales and profitability of the organization. In the last point, industry value chains and value systems are rapidly being reconfigured. Naturally, value systems are very, very important in the part of the marketing. Until unless if we don't provide any value to our customers, it's very, very tough for us. So be patient, be humble. If you're dealing with any particular consumer in the market, try to find out what he or she is speaking. Then on the basis of their words, try to observe the problem which they are facing from your services and keep sorting out those activities which you want to offer them effectively. What are those opportunity framework analysis? These are some of the points, or you can see the factors or the elements which you can take as a part of the opportunistic approach or part from the marketing analytical framework. So first point, what does it say? Identify unmet and or undeserved customer needs. As we all know that we have to face so many marketers, or we have to face so many consumers in the area of the marketing. We have to look after that what they are expecting for us. What are their desires? What are their expectations from us? So these are sometimes unmet. These are very important for the marketers, that they should focus on the needs or desires of the consumers, that what initially or effectively they are expecting from us. In the second point, identify the specific customers a company will pursue. How you are going to identify the specific customers in the market? It depends upon your part of the promotion, your part of the endorsements, and your part of the listening with the consumers, that how you. So somewhere if they are taking interest in your services, means you are reflecting something good to them. So it depends upon your way of interaction and way of thinking, that how you are identifying the specificity of the consumers related to the part of your product and service. Then in the third point, assess advantage relative to the competition. Means suppose if we are facing the competition with our rival competitors in the market, what is the utility and how on the basis of those advantage we are assessing the parameters. So that is the one of the most important. Assessing the company's resources to deliver the offering means on the basis of the demands, expectations of the consumers, how we are utilizing the resources of the company and how those resources must be delivered by our company marketing personnel to the prospects. Assess marketing readiness of the technology, how we are technologically identifying the advancement of the consumers, what sort of questions generally they are asking from us, what sort of things we are just delivering to them. So this thing generally help us to improve our efficiency related to the part of the technological advancement and the assessment of the entire technological analytical effective study. Opportunity attractiveness. Naturally, if we got some kind of opportunity related to the part of the rival competition, this thing creates a very remarkable attractiveness on behalf of. This is the flow chart. You can see what are those key environments and the sweet spot of for the marketing opportunity. As we all know, these four circles, the one circle, that blue one you can see, this is belongs to the customer or centric approach, and the yellow one is on from the company centric, and this pink one is from the technological advancement. And so after making the collaboration with all four circles, from the customer to the company to the technology to the competition, there is a common collaboration will be happened. As you can see, this is called the sweet spot, that on the behalf of the customer's expectation, how the companies are going to face the challenges, how the technological advancement is being happen in the market area, and what sort of the competition generally we are facing. So if these things, these four the things each other and make a one whole, you can see the whole. This whole will be considered as a part of the sweet spot activities. So these are the key environmental activities in the entire marketing scenario. We will consider this as a part of the sweet spot. So this is the consumer buying process. You can see from this particular flow chart, this is generally categorized in between the three activities: the post purchase. In the first block, you can see on the part of identification of the consumer purchasing process, it's very, very necessary for every marketer that he must identify the problems and recognize those problems very, very effectively. So moving ahead towards the next block, after the recognition of the problem, it's very, very necessary for us to know the information, that what sort of the data, what sort of the what sort of the informative sources we are gathering from that particular problem, and how we are evaluating the entire things. Then after the evaluation process gets over, it's the time which comes to take the certain decision about the part of the purchasing from the end of the consumer. So when the consumer purchase the product, he will get fully satisfied from it. And after the satisfaction process gets over, the loyalty gets begin. Means loyalty is a kind of the trustworthiness or a kind of the truly reflection towards the prospect to the marketer, that what the services they are going to offer them, it is fully appreciable, apart from the price, apart from the service, apart from the satisfaction, and apart from the consumption level of the customer. So entire process will keep goes on like this until unless if there is any kind of hurdle. So this thing will depend upon the end of the customer or end of the marketer, that what sort of things they are purchasing and what sort of services they are selling to them. So apart from this particular consumer buying process, if all the prospects, if all the marketers going to follow this panorama, then definitely the success and the survival of the organization from the end of the profitability and from the end of the loyalty will get happen inside the market. That's how you are going to identify the specific customers. So these are some of the levels of the marketing. You can see I have prepared in my slide. That is the geographic, demographic, firmographic, behavioral, occasion, psychographic, and the benefits. On the geographic part, you can see the geographical units in the part of the marketing must be divided on the basis of the country, city size, and the density of that particular location. Apart from it, the activities will depend upon the demographic variables. Here we are talking about the customers, about their age, their gender, their occupation, their ethnicity, income, their family status, and all about the life stage. Demographic activity of customers really divides on the basis of the company's specific variables. Means the product lines, the size of the company, and the variety we are offering, and apart from it, the most important thing, the departments of the organizations. Then behavioral segmentation divides based on the how customers actually buy. What are their standards? What are their parameters at the products? And how actually they are preferring those particular services using the products on the basis of the online shopping on the depends upon their standard. Brand loyalty towards the services, prior purchases, etc., and so many other things. Then occasion divides based on the situation that leads to the product, about its needs, about or in the routine occasion, special occasion, timely location, event, and how we're triggering about those services. Then in the psychographic factors, divides based on the lifestyle or the personality, affinity, social class, activities, interest, and opinions. And finally, the benefits which we will get from it divides basis on the quality sought, how we are convenient, how much we are convenient, on the economic point of view, how much it is beneficial, quality wise, how we are handling it is ease of use, speed, information, and overall the selection. How effectively we are assessing the attractiveness, opportunistic approach on the behalf of the customer, and all about the market dynamics. Means unconstrained opportunity. Unconstrained opportunity we can't predict inside the market, because this thing happens when we are offering certain service, certain products to the consumers. So how much unconstrained it is. Segmentation interaction depends upon the levels of the consumers. Particular consumer belongs to the high income group consumers, middle income group consumers, or low class consumers. Growth rate of the organizations depends upon the sales, how we are selling the product, and on behalf of that particular sales, what will be the profitable sales turnover of the organization. And overall, it depends upon the market size, how we are expanding our market as per the area wise, as per the region wise, location wise, territory wise, and so many things which are correlated. Naturally depend on all such things. What is the size of the market, growth rate, what will be the organization, how the segmentation process is going on, and what are those unconstrained opportunities which makes the entire process meaningful. So these are some of the marketing dynamics which will assume or which will take as a approach in the part of the consumer's retention. So this is all about my presentation. I hope you all will like it. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. It was really very informative and incredible session. And the webinar was really very amazing, sir. I would like to propose a heartiest vote of thank you for gracing today's webinar. Your presence and wise words help magnifying in the best possible way. I hope all the participants learned a lot from this webinar, and I would really like to thank you, sir, for giving us your valuable time, and I'm delighted to be part of today's webinar. A good event never ends in the world. It is just take a pause and keep us awaiting for the next. All good things eventually end. I consider everyone as fortunate that they became a part of this webinar, which was full of knowledge, which makes it difficult to say goodbye.